Despite being political rivals, on Tuesday Governor Ron DeSantis, Republican Florida, was quick to jump to the defense of Donald Trump over his potential most recent indictment, slamming the Department of Justice for going down the wrong path and creating a system of criminalizing political differences. The Sunshine State governor was on his CNN interview alongside host Jake Tapper, where the host found it necessary to bring up the news of Trump's most recent expected indictment. Tapper asked whether or not Trump should be held accountable for whatever part he may have played on January 6. So here's the problem: this country is going down the road of criminalizing political differences, DeSantis plainly states. I think that's wrong. Alvin Bragg stretched the statute in Manhattan to be able to try to target Donald Trump. Most people, even people on the left, acknowledge if that wasn't Trump, that case would not have likely been brought against the normal civilian. And so you have a situation where the Department of Justice/FBI have been weaponized against people they don't like. And the number one example that happened to be against Donald Trump with the Russia collusion. That was not a legitimate investigation. That was being done to try to drive Trump out of office. And so what I've said, as president, my job is to restore a single standard of justice, to end weaponization of these agencies, he continued. We're going to have a new FBI director on day one. We're going to have big changes at the Department of Justice. Americans across the political spectrum need to have confidence that what is going on is based on the rule of law, not based on what political tribe you're in. DeSantis also took note on how the country needs to be focusing more on its future as opposed to what happened in the past, saying, I don't think it serves us good to have a presidential election focused on what happened 4 years ago in January. Tapper still pressed DeSantis on possible charges to be put against former President Donald Trump, requesting the presidential candidate to clarify whether or not he meant that there should be no charges regardless of if a crime was committed or not. What I'm saying is, when you're going after somebody on the other side of the political spectrum, if you're stretching statutes to try to criminalize maybe political disagreements, that is wrong, DeSantis responded. We don't know what's going to happen, but I can tell you with the Bragg one, that was stretching criminal law. The evidence of criminality was very weak. And even if that existed, other people would not have been charged under those circumstances. That's the problem. The response from DeSantis is certainly a positive one. The indictment of Donald Trump could easily be used by the candidate to raise his own political platform and talk about any potential wrongdoings of an adversary for the position. Instead, DeSantis took the time to defend his opponent and speak out against the rife injustice that he has been facing, proving why he deserves his spot in the presidential race.